What's up, guys? Nathanias here. Well memed. We're going to be playing this one on Moonlight Madness. This is another balanced test mod map between Jason and Rain. You can check these players out, both based gods, playing for my amusement and your ability to help understand about, what this patch does, And if you guys are just tuning in and you're not sure what I'm talking about, this is on the balanced test mod, where we are pretty much just looking at some big design changes that have been proposed by Blizzard Entertainment for StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. They want to push this patch after BlizzCon so that it doesn't disrupt this year's WCS Global Finals too much. So, yeah. Before we go into this, I would just like to make one statement, since I've already been seeing posts on Team Liquid and the official Battle.net forums, two places that Blizzard does read for feedback. I've seen posts from people that have watched me play on this balanced test mod, and frankly, I think that it's very important you guys don't jump to conclusions. If you haven't played this, if you haven't been playing yourself, you really need to give this a chance. I don't want to make a big public post about how I feel about these changes until I've seen a lot of games, so please be as open to discussion as humanly possible. And with that being said, let's get into things here. It's a Terran versus Protoss. We're going to have some cheeky proxy, it looks like, in the bottom right area. Rain, Grandmaster Protoss player from Team My Insanity. You can check him out on twitch.tv/Rain. And Jason, Grandmaster Terran player, consistent top 16, qualified for the WCS ladder qualifier by finishing in the top 16 during the qualification period. You can find him at twitch.tv/JuggernautJason. Two awesome guys. Make sure to check them out and say hi and thank them for helping to get some good games together for people that can look at this stuff. So really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. And I think that these changes are really important. I think they're really awesome. You guys are going to see them as we go through. I'll talk about them as we go into them. But, yeah. Just try to keep an open mind is all I'm going to say. I'm going to do my best to keep an open mind about the changes, because I want StarCraft 2 to be the best game it can possibly be. I know, I've had my moments of salt, of rage, but those only because I want the game to be better. And now we have a real chance to make a serious impact on the game. So we should try to bring forth the best possible discussion and the most open mind that we can to all of this. So, pretty fast Stargate out of Rain. And I'm wondering if he's going to go for a proxy Tempest rush. The Tempest actually did get a pretty big change in this. It lost most of its range against ground. The Tempest only has 6 range against ground units, but it has an ability that it can use. I basically call it the Russian scorched earth thing, because it basically lights a portion of the ground on fire for like 34 seconds, I think, real time. And during that period of time, it just does like a certain amount of damage. I actually don't know how much damage it does, but you could use it to block mining on a mineral patch. You could use it to cut a ramp off. It doesn't kill things instantly. And this is another change that I thought was interesting, because a lot of people ask me about the Tempest. A lot of people ask me about this ability. They're not sure if this is too strong, because people have been saying, but Nathanias, what if they just use it on your mineral line? Then you can't mine. I don't think you can actually cover more than a few mineral patches at a time. But also, just look at what it takes to do this fast, right? There's already more mineral patches available for the Terran than the Protoss, because Rain hasn't expanded, because he's going for such a crazy build order, a crazy strategy. So I think it's very interesting to leverage the investment that you have to make at the start of the game to get a Tempest out, especially since it can't attack ground units very effectively anymore. This Oracle, though, could set him up for a really good spot. He's going to immediately get a couple of SCV kills. So this is, I think, the ideal scenario, is that you try to slow down the Terran as much as you can before you make the move into the Tempest. We do have the first one on the way. It is Siege Artillery. It does still have its normal 15 range against air units. I would like to stress that. Against air units, it's the same amount of damage that it's always done. So it is a very strong unit for anti-air, dealing with Liberators. As you can see, it's 30 damage, mass 15 range against air, 6 range against ground. But it has this ability. So it's 450 damage over 32 seconds. So it does hurt buildings as well as units. So perhaps we'll see it put here to block one of the geysers and a mineral line. I don't know. The cast range is very long on it, though. So that's also an important thing to keep in mind, as the Tempest is going to rear its ugly head. And it's going to pop that on the mineral line, I guess. It could block an area for the Marines to go through. I'm not sure. He's going to cast it. Okay, so there it goes. You guys can see it's actually doing a pretty reasonable amount of damage, killing a good few SCVs there. Wow, 5 workers picked off. The Cyclone lock-on has been nerfed. Cyclones can no longer attack air units normally. Oh my god. Wow, he's just going ham. It's still 2 shots Marines. I think they raised the damage of the ground attack on the... Oh! So, actually, it does last a while. So it's denying a lot of mining, but the Protoss is still on 1 base. A lot of adepts being brought forward for Ray Rain to try and make a big push out of this. Cyclones are good, but Jason's moving across the map. He needs his Cyclones to defend against this attack. Meanwhile, this Tempest is still just being annoying. The cooldown is almost off. And the Oracle finishes off all the workers in the main base. So this Proxy Tempest Rush off the back of that early Oracle attack has done a lot. But Jason's going for the counter. There's no Mothership Core at home. What he really needs to stress is to try not to die at the beginning of this. I think that's really, really important. You do not want to die at the start of this. And I think this counterattack, this is the thing. The Tempest is strong, but you're always going to be vulnerable to big counter plays. There's nothing at home that can deal with this. And Ray Rain's just going to move straight in. This is all of the economy right now for Jason. He should be able to eliminate it, but where are the Tempests? They're outside. And he can still use their massive range against air. So the Vikings are not the big threat here. One of the Cyclones locks on, but like I said, Cyclone can't attack air normally anymore. But their lock-on against air only does 160 damage. So even those 2 Cyclones locked on for their full duration can't kill a Tempest. And I think that Jason's counterattack, as you guys can see, the Cyclone attacks very fast now. It does 3 damage per shot against probes, 6 damage versus armored units. So he's going to start cleaning out that base, and the Cyclones might win an elimination race. We can see the Disruption Orbs are doing their best to push the forces back. Now, Jason does not have a lot, but this could actually just turn into a literal base trade. And this is pretty crazy. And someone in my chat said it looks like a breath of fire. Yeah, it does look like you're breathing some hot tamale dragon breath down. But these Cyclones are coming back. He's going to try to bring everything home. He wants to defend against this. He knows he can't beat this army. Ray Rain has enough resources to start another Nexus. So Jason is really in trouble. Wow, he put a stasis ward there. Oh, I see. He pulled the army back. So he locked 1 Marine into stasis. But this actually might be enough for Ray Rain to win off of this. Really cool to see the new Tempest ability used for that early aggressive harassment. Oh, he starts a Nexus. The probes are all exposed. All of the probes are up there. He's going to kill the Nexus. He can't rebuild a Nexus again. Well, that's awkward, as the natural expansion did float over, so he's going to cut the ramp off. Oh, it damages the rocks, too. Interesting. He cuts the ramp off with this, so he's basically saying, yo, you better step off. So now the Cyclones can no longer fight, but he's going to drop the Mule Hammer over here onto this base. And things are slowly falling apart. I do think Jason now should be able to get it. Losing the probes and the ability to build that Nexus was a really big deal. He can't chase this army effectively because the Cyclone is a much tankier unit than it used to be. And the Tempest also lost its normal anti-ground attack range. You could try to just chase him down here. I mean, the Cyclones have to break the rocks to escape. So, I mean, just killing the... Oh, the medevac's coming over. Okay, that works too. Oh, but if he hits it with the... Oh! Okay, one of the Cyclones does get picked off. But Jason's mining again. He's building a Liberator. He's building an SCV. This is all a Terran player needs to recover in the game. And someone in the chat does ask, the Tempest Ball does not actually kill your own units. It does not do friendly fire. So Ray Rain's going to hold the North Tower. He can see where one of the command centers is. But these buildings are going to lift off. And I do think killing the starport is very important. Do not want that Liberator to be built and escape. But there's so many supply depots that Jason can actually just keep building. The command centers also give a lot of supply. So Ray Rain knows that there's a base up here. The Cyclones almost get the Mothership Core. Does catch these this Cyclone. The Cyclone cannot use lock-on against ground units. So it's very difficult to kite against units that are fast, like the Adept. Although the Cyclone still moves a bit faster. The Adept's teleport, its shade is very useful. It's going to catch this medevac. So Ray Rain's making a little bit of something out of this. Although Jason still has stuff everywhere. He needs to get the orbitals. This orbital is still standing. You can pick this one off. Ooh, okay. So these Adepts are going to find this base. Really important. Really, really important. So you can pick these off. Now he knows where the last couple bases are. But Jason's going to spread his Cyclones out. He just wants to finish off the buildings and win an elimination race. Ray Rain has one probe at this tower, he can build a pylon when he realizes he's out of buildings. But this command center is going to get away. This command center is going to get away. And both of these buildings are going to be killed by the Cyclones. They do an insane amount of DPS to structures. Where's his last building? Is that it? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, he started the pylon. He started the pylon, so he's looking. He's like, what do you have? Oh, this is it. He's going for it. And now these units are going to try to catch the Cyclones out on the map. This is the army of Jason. So if he could get these units, he could do a lot. But the problem is the Tempest don't have that range against ground. So he has to play a very different game to really find his way through this. And I think the Cyclones could just come over, break these rocks, and move in on that pylon. This is it. He has the probe. He can build another one, but look at these Marines. Oh my god, if he gets the probe. If he gets the probe, he cannot rebuild a pylon or an assimilator anywhere else on the map. Mama Core going to work. Mama gonna knock you out. And the Marines are heading to the east side. That's pretty interesting. I mean, he could dive on the pylon, right? Oh, this army comes over. Looks like he took out 2 of the Cyclones while they were trying to break down the rocks. These Cyclones are actually all stuck. If he goes over there and gets those, that is a huge win. But that Marine count is going up. Oh, tasteless. I think Jason might actually be able to snipe this pylon and win the game because the probe. The probe! Alright, that's GG. He can't rebuild. Rip. He finally got all the Cyclones too. Wow, what a sick game. GG. The new Tempest is actually really interesting, I think. I think that ability is so cool. Really fun game. Really, really fun game. Please leave some comments. Let me guys know what you're thinking in the comments section. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I think this patch is going to be awesome. Please, like I said, do your best to try and get some good feedback and try to form an opinion based off a lot of games and not your initial reaction. Because I think the Tempest ability here was really cool and honestly didn't seem broken at all because the Tempest loses so much of its anti-ground potential. GG.